Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment, and in today's video we got an overview video for you. We got the LX2620 with SGC 0660 Grapple and a K64 backup blower. We're going to do an overview of it all, starting at the front, working our way back, and at the very end we're going to take it out and try out that Grapple, so show you some of the do's and don'ts. So stick with us, let's start with the overview. As we always do, we start at the front. So as you'll see here, we have the SGC 0660 Land Pride Grapple installed on this. So normally it's going to be a bucket. On the front it's going to be either a 54 or 60. Strongly recommend a 60 from Kubota. But again, it is skid steer quick attach, so you can put any size, width, length of bucket that you deem necessary. But the standard one is going to be probably a 60-inch from Kubota. Diving a little bit deeper into this Grapple. So this is a 60-inch Grapple. Again, it's designed and made for the LX lineup. So again, you may see this on a B2601, it gets a little bit bigger. They do make a 54-inch for the smaller tractors. So this, and then you'll see it on the Economy L's is the other ones that you're going to see the 60-inch on. So, so right up to 40 horsepower. Again, it is rated to lift about 1,800 pounds, so a little bit more than what you're going to see on the lift capacities of other smaller tractors. Pretty straightforward Grapple, just open and closes. What has changed over the years is Kubota had a third function available, and then as well as Land Pride. They've now slimmed it down to really it's just the Land Pride third function available. You'll know the difference whenever you look at the loader joystick is marked LP on it for Land Pride, and then be two red buttons instead of two buttons and an on-off switch on the just below it. So they all work great. Again, this has a pretty big opening, lets you grab stuff, and we'll demonstrate that to you so you see how these operate and whether it might be something in the future for yourself to purchase. So moving a little bit farther back now, let's talk about the loader and the engine. Okay, so as we move a little bit farther back, you'll see we have the LA535 installed on this LX2620. So in the LX lineup, you're going to have the 2620, a 3520, and a 4020. So 26 kind of sits as its own, with the 35 and the 40 having a bigger front axle, more horsepower, and a different loader. So it's going to have the 545 on it. So the 26 horsepower is kind of an orphan in the lineup, as it follows suit kind of, but doesn't have near the features and is quite a bit different. So it is the LA535 installed, so that means it lifts 535 kilos, so roughly 1,200–1,300 pounds there. And again, the biggest difference between this unit and then the Economy L lineup, so like your LO2s, is lift height. So we have a few videos there demonstrating that, of the LO2s lifting higher, because they lift about the same weight. It's just a matter of how it goes about doing it. So the biggest difference being the lift height available to yourself. It is nice that it comes standard with a level indicator there, and then it's nice now that they have an insert available. You'll see it installed here. It's especially very handy if you have a Grapple, that you're not going to be poking holes in the front of your unit here or damaging the very front. Just makes it a little bit added protection for very low cost. So whenever we move a little bit further down here, you'll see some tires here. We have the industrial tires selected installed on this unit, and there is a selection of tires. So starting with your ag tires, going to be two different sizes available to you, two different grip style on them. After that, you get to the R4s here, the industrials, again, two different sizes, the standard size, which you see here, and then they also have oversized. Same with the R14, standard and oversized, and then turf being the last selection there. So quite a few different ideas depending on what you're looking to do. 9 times out of 10, if you're going to be having a Grapple on the front, you're probably going to want the R14s or industrial on there, because it sounds like you're going to be going in the bush to play a little bit. So whenever we move up to the engine again, so this is the biggest engine you can get in the Kubota lineup at that 26 horsepower to be pre-emissions. So whether it be the 2620 or maybe an L2502, again, you are right below those emission cutoffs, so kind of keep the cost a little bit lower. And as stated before, in the LX lineup, you're going to have a 35 and a 40 horsepower as well. In the LX lineup, it kind of being a different unit altogether than this unit here. So whenever we get up to the operator station, not a whole lot has changed over the 10 series or the B2650. Some few key upgrades that you're going to see is the foot pedal itself being different, a lot longer, a little bit different of a position. which and again, in the past iterations there you haven't really seen, is there hasn't been a clutch in quite a while, so the brakes are actually on this side. The dash has stayed virtually the same, but it is a nice LED dash, nice and bright. There is a few sensors on here, so it's nice to be able to see what's going on. One of the other upgrades that you saw in the LX lineup was the mid PTO button there. that you're able to hold down to start. Whenever you have a chipper, let's say on the back, you can't be in the seat, right? You want to feed the chipper, so you just hold down that button and it keeps everything running while you're not in the operator station. So the operator's presence doesn't shut down the tractor kind of idea. Whenever we get to loader controls here, as mentioned before, this is the Land Pride third function installed on here. So you see a nice LP there and then the 2 red buttons. One thing that was just pointed out to me is compared to the cab tractors, the loader controls are a lot stiffer. It could be because of position of this coming out through here, and on the cab it comes up through the fender. It could be positioning or whatnot, but at the end of the day, a little bit stiffer operation, which isn't a bad thing. One nice thing is it does have a nice deluxe 3-point hitch for lowering and lifting. You'll see the numbers on the side. So whenever you have a snowblower installed, you know last time you're doing your driveway it was at number 3. I put it back at number 3. Everything's golden that way. In and out of 4-wheel drive, everything's nice and big and easy to grab. They've really changed up all that, and it's easy to identify as well. On this side you have your PTOs, whether it's mid PTO or rear PTO, and then it's got your 3-range hydrostatic transmission, so high, low, and medium, with 90% of your work going to be in medium, so it's nice having that as well. So let's jump around to the back and talk about the blower and the 3-point hitch. So when we move around to the 3-point hitch here, you'll see it a pretty standard 3-point hitch. There's nothing overly exciting about 3-point hitches, but at the end of the day you will see there is no remotes installed here. It is an option. You can get up to 3 remotes there. Most people like to get a single set if they're going to put a blower on the back to get hydraulic rotate. Again, once you start adding it all up, it's an extra $1,000 for hydraulic rotate on the blower, and it's an extra $1,000 remotes there, so it's a lot of added cost to have that go left or right, but there could be other features that you're looking to get with the hydraulics on it. So it is kind of a deluxe 3-point hitch, but not as nice as the cab unit. So you won't see adjustable ends here come standard. It is an upgrade. Whether you're installing lots of implements, may or may not be what you're looking for. But after that, it is easy to adjust your sway bars there. Again, it's just as simple as pulling out a pin to take the sway left or right out of it. And again, standard top link there. Again, the lift capacities on this 3-point hitch are approximately 1,900 pounds. So anything that's going to suit this unit is going to work with it. So again, if you start oversizing it, you can, to be honest. Again, with only 26 engine horsepower, it does dip down. You're only going to be dealing with 18 on the PTO, so just be mindful of that if you're thinking about implements and oversizing them, is it may not match 100% with the unit. So whenever we move back a little bit further here, we start talking about that snowblower here. This is the standard snowblower you're going to see on the back for a backup through Kubota, so it is the K64-2407. So those other 2 numbers, so 64 is the width of it, the 24 is the propeller size, and the 7 is the depth of that propeller. So those all mean something and are making it so it's a nice snowblower there. Basically, we'd like to call it a mid-range snowblower. It's not your high-end ones like you're going to see on the Normand, and it's not going to be your low-end ones like you're going to see with your Farm Kings, Meteors, Lucknows. So it's kind of like right in the middle there, so it does blow snow how you want, and you're not going to run into many issues. If you did, it is nice that you're able to get all your parts through Kubota, being a Kubota snowblower. After that, it's nice having everything protected. So you'll see your shear bolt under there, and your other one is going to be under this other cover for your PTO. So PTO one drives your fan, this one drives your auger on that. Again, it does a nice few lift points there whenever you're moving it in the spring or fall. To install it, you'll see some adjustable skid shoes on the side here. Again, it's always going to be set in the middle when it comes from us, but early in the season you may want them up high, dropping them lower later to get more aggressive, so you're firing less gravel out of there and more snow depending on the time of year. So outside of that, pretty standard snowblower with a great auger, great fan, and it moves the snow where you need it and is matched perfectly with this unit. So okay, so we're down here on location. Again, this is just kind of to show proper usage of a grapple. Again, I'm no operator, so I'll show you what little I know. Again, I've got a few hours using a grapple, so basically big thing is to stay safe, kind of want to push things away from you first to make sure that you're not going to be having branches come back at you whenever you clamp down on them. So the biggest trick that I've come across is whenever you come up to a pile like this is to open it up, push it first, and then come up, kind of tilt onto it, and then grab and then curl out. And we're going to demonstrate all that to you so that you can kind of see that, so that it kind of keeps everything away from the tractor so you're not having sticks come back at you. So let's jump right to it now and show you how this operates. So that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the OpenStation LX2620 along with a couple implements there, whether it be the Grapple or the Snowblower on the back. Again, it's not always easy to go to your local Kubota dealership and have a look at all this in action, so hopefully we're able to bring you some helpful advice and some tips there, so to help you whenever you're going out on your next adventure with your tractor. So if you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please down below. Thank you.